On this edition of Keeping It Real Estate, one of our favorite types of episodes, it's the market update. What's happening in the real estate landscape in the greater Salem area and beyond? We'll uncover that with Colleen, and we've got a great client story to tell you about on today's episode. Let's get to it.
Welcome to Keeping It Real Estate with Colleen Benson and the Benson Broker Group with Keller Williams. This is your go-to source for insights, expert guidance, and tips on making your real estate experience stress-free.
All right, Colleen, on today's episode, we are going to start off with talking about the market and getting that awesome market update that you always provide for us here on the show. And each month you're checking the stats and helping us understand kind of what's moving and shaking and happening and what you're keeping your eye on in the local area. So break it down. What's caught your eye recently?
Yeah, you bet. Well, you just never know how the year's going to start, right? I mean, we had a very slow fourth quarter and we just didn't know what to expect. And then January came with a bang. Our agents have been busy. Buyers are out. We've got applications, loan applications are sky high. And I think it's really due to the interest rates came down a little bit, yes. But people are just ready. The buyers that have been on the fence this last year are really realizing, it's a good time to get out there, see what's coming on the market. We're doing our best to bring a lot of homes to the market and build that inventory. And I just really think spring has hit us early. The spring season is here. We brought 10 homes to market in the month of January, meaning 10 new listings live, and most of them are just selling very quickly. And that's a lot for our team size for January. And then I think we put 21 buyers into contract for the month, which is incredible for us as a team. But as far as local Willamette Valley stats, what I have to report to you today are some kind of interesting numbers. And I love to just kind of geek out on these. So Here we go. Right now, we are up by 55% in new inventory over last month. So this is January numbers. We are up 55% over December for new listings. Incredible. These are Willamette Valley stats. And we're up 16% over last January. Okay. So big deal this year versus last year. Active inventory is actually down 10% over last month, down 20% over last year. So what does that mean? That sounds a little contradictory, right? What that means is homes are selling. We're bringing new listings to market and then they're selling.
Oh, so that must mean homes are hitting the market and they were sticking last year and not selling right away.
Exactly. But buyers are out. They're looking for homes to purchase. So our month's supply of inventory for the month of January is at 3.2. And this is a number that helps us agents realize like how many homes are on market and how fast are they going to sell. That is up 2.6% over December, but down 13% over last January. So the way I look at that is our months of supply of inventory being down. We're still in a strong seller's market right now, but the buyers are ready to buy. So the more homes we can bring to market this spring, it's going to be better for this season in general. But we're just going to have a rockin'. I think we're going to have a wonderfully successful year helping buyers and sellers and investors into properties or out of properties. One last stat I'll give you for this episode. Please. The median sales price right now, $419,000. That's for the greater Salem area. That's our median sales price, $419,000. That's just a little bit down from last month. Don't let that bother you. We're going to see that go up as the year progresses. It's up 3.8% over last year. Meaning, if you bought a house last January, you've increased your value by 3.8% of your sales price.
Man, what an interesting take on the stats. I feel like that is definitely a bit counter to what the prognosticators were saying at the end of 23, talking about what we were going to see in 24. I don't think anybody was really predicting that January would start out this hot. And as always, it's a great reminder, Colleen, of why it's important to get local perspective versus what the national trends and the national stats are, because you guys are seeing some information, it sounds like to me, in the greater Salem area that wouldn't necessarily jive with the overall country's stats right now. So
absolutely.
Just a little bit of a way that the Oregon is different right now.
You watch the national news and sometimes you can hear doom and gloom. As soon as I hear it, I just turn it off because sometimes I'm like, they're not saying the right things. That's not true.
Colleen doesn't have time for that.
When it comes to the housing market. And then I look at my local market stats and I do a lot of research to bring this information to you guys locally. And it's like, yes, I wish I could report it on the news so that they could hear it. But
yes.
Oh well.
Okay,
you guys get the info.
Local news stations or national for that matter who are watching the podcast today or listening to it, Colleen's standing by. She's ready to be the national expert. So
here we go.
Whenever you've got a news story about real estate, you can go to her for comment, right,
Oh,
Colleen?
how fun.
Stepping into the home buying arena? Whether you're a first-timer or it's just been a while, we've got the perfect starter package for you. Our custom home buying guide demystifies the process, breaks down the jargon, and lays out the steps you'll need to take all in one place. It's your roadmap to a smooth home buying journey. Ready to become a savvy home buyer? Just text Ore-gon to 21,000 or click the link in our show description to get your free guide today. Start your journey with confidence. Text Ore-gon to 21000 or tap the link now.
So every once in a while here on the show, we also have a segment that we love, Colleen. It's definitely the favorite. It's the closing recap. Back when we hosted the radio show, you would do this every week and tell us a story about a client that you recently worked with. We're pairing that with the market update today because your closing recap story goes hand in hand with kind of these stats that you noticed in January. So tell us this week's story and
they
the
jive.
journey that
They
your client
jive
had.
for sure. Okay, so this, I manage my team of agents, and so I don't do a lot of production. I like to make sure my agents are staying very busy, and I'm busy managing them and doing this kind of stuff, right, as the owner of the company.
Yeah.
But once in a while, I like to take, for special clients, and, depending on the situation, I like to help them personally. And this was one of those. So this is a repeat client of mine. They've bought and sold with me about 3 times. The first house they sold with me, I was brand new to Salem and a little bit nervous as coming from the Portland market to the Salem market and how I would do with it. But we had a great relationship and a great transaction. So they just called me and we went live with their house their most recent home. They called me in mid-December and they said they'd like to get it on market. Actually, we went live between Christmas and New Year's, I should say.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's a bit unusual, right? A lot of people don't list a house that week.
No, not typically, but we wanted to get ahead of the January game and they were ready. And so, when we list a home during the holidays, of course, we have to make sure that there's no decor in the pictures. So that was a little bit of a challenge, but it got their Christmas stuff down real quick. So that worked out great.
Nice.
And so anyways, these clients are fabulous. And so it's a married couple and their adult daughter, and the adult daughter has 3 kids. And so they owned the house 50-50, the daughter and the parents. And so it was truly multi-generational living. And it showed that way as well, with the parents down in the lower part of the house and then mom and the kids, the daughter, who's the mom of the kids, in the top of the house. Anyways, long story shorter, we got a full price offer, and it was contingent on them getting some money in from an outside source, which kind of made my clients nervous. Their down payment was coming from a divorce settlement, actually. So It kind of made my clients nervous because sometimes those take longer than you expect. But it all worked out really well. And then another fun part of the story is the daughter is going to buy a house in West Salem, and she had a realtor she really wanted to use. And her parents, who are my repeat clients, said, no, you have to use Colleen to buy your home, right?
Yeah,
and
of course.
She's like, no, I promised my friend. And I totally get that. And so I say, I get it. I'll communicate very well with your friend as she goes through the process so we can line up your sale, the proceeds of your sale going into your purchase. Mom and dad, my clients, were moving to Arizona, so they weren't trying to buy and sell at the same time. So I had to keep a very close communication, not only with the daughter's realtor who was representing her on the purchase, but also her lender as we got towards closing. So they're in the process of moving actually today. My clients are moving into an apartment just for temporary until they get out of state. And their daughter is moving into her new home in West Salem. And it all worked out really well. It's just a lot of extra communication to make those pieces fit, because I'm always used to, if I'm helping somebody sell and helping them buy, I'm the one coordinating that, right?
Right.
So
You're used to doing both tasks rather than,
Yeah,
and it's
so
actually easier probably to do it that way.
It is a lot easier. It was a little bit of a challenge to make it all work out just perfect with the buyer for this property and then her being the buyer for that property.
As always, you know how to figure it out, though, Colleen, and I love that the uniqueness of this story is that this time it was all on you, right? So you were the one kind of navigating through everyone, not coaching one of your team members through it or kind of playing the quarterback role there. You were in the midst of it all. So
yeah, I love coaching and training agents. It's my passion, but I do sometimes miss, I had a really fun time with my clients.
Sure,
I miss that, So I
it keeps
have a
your
goal.
Skills sharp too, right? I mean, that's
it does. I have a goal this year to just get into production a little bit more, just to enjoy the experience with my clients.
Yeah, that is very cool. Well, thank you for sharing that story with us and for the market update as well. It's a great reminder if you are in the greater Salem area or any of the surrounding communities throughout the Willamette Valley, even up to Portland, down to Bend, or along the Oregon coast, Colleen's team is there to help you out. Just check out the Benson Broker Group online at bensonbrokergroup.com, or you can call or text Colleen directly at 503-830-9467. It's that easy to get in touch, and we'll put that contact information in the description of today's show so that you can find it. Colleen, thanks for all the great details on the episode. Really enjoyed the conversation, and we'll talk to you again soon.
You bet. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for joining us, everybody, on Keeping It Real Estate. We'll see you next time.